I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen. But I definitely contemplated just getting on here because I can't deal with it too much. And there's no direction. I don't know what's going on. There's just too much pain and it's mad. And people are just seem to have this thing of just getting me to reduce me to something. They're constantly on my case. That's why I can understand my mother. Because people are on your case for no reason at all. They're always pounding me. For no, Sheikh, I don't know why. I haven't done anything. Like in my job, I walked in there, it's a bit dirty, I get a room, I clean it up, I order a chair, I do the thing. They don't like it, they're upset. It's the way I did it. Don't mean the way I did it. I just want to keep the place clean. Try to keep it clean. I do my part, that's all. All I can be is me.
Well, these brothers here,
so it's crazy,
they work on a very meager sum, especially to be able to make sure that this light of the Ahlul Bayt is out there to guide
Well, listen,
people.
I've got to thank you guys, because if it wasn't for that TV, if I didn't, that Tuesday when I lost the job and I, too much, and I'm looking out the window to contemplate suicide, I said, listen, I had enough of this. This is too much, and I can't understand what's going on. Where do I go from here? 48, no education, boom, boom. And I just sit on the chair, and like a robot, and I just grabbed the thing and went to the TV, and then I just stopped. This one. And the TV has been on 24 hours since Tuesday. It came off today. This channel basically saved my life.
You want to just, maybe you can close your eyes actually before we do the shahada. Just clear your mind and then just ask Allah, I think, that you are about to accept Islam as your religion. And then you can do your prayers as well.
Before we do the Shahada, there is just the basic philosophy of the Shahada I want to go through. Shahada means in Islam to witness. And when we accept Islam, what we are doing is we're witnessing the truth. The Shahada is specific about witnessing the truth. And the truth, for all of us, the basic truth, it all boils down to one thing, that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the basic reality and truth that God is asking us when we embrace Islam to witness, to submit to this truth. And the three levels that we submit to this truth at. The first level is when we recite the Shahada, we will submit to the truth with our tongues. So our tongues will say the words and will submit to this message. And then later on you'll find as you're learning more about Islam, or you may even already start to feel it, you'll submit to the truth with your heart. It's a deeper level of witnessing the oneness
That's
of
where
God.
I'm now.
Yeah, you may already be there. You're
there.
witnessing it with your heart.
I'm there now.
And then what will happen, you witness this truth at the highest level with all your actions. So basically your sincerity, your thought, your heart, your actions, time for prayer, you'll be on time, speaking the truth. Everything will be witnessing the oneness of God. And that is basically the philosophy behind the Shahada that we do in Islam. And it's something that you don't only do once. As Muslims, we tend to say when you become baligh, when you are a puberty, when you reach puberty, if you're born Shia, you are asked to say it then. Or when you convert to religion, you say it when you convert. But you can keep saying it every day, every week. Remind yourself all the time that I am submitting to this one, to this truth, that there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what we'll do, this is the glorious Quran. What I will ask you to do is hold this in your right hand and recite after me. La ilaha illallah Muhammadun Rasulullah Aliyun Waliyullah Wasiyun Rasulullah Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. That's it. The Shahada is finished now. I will just explain to you what you just said. La ilaha illallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. La ilaha illallah means Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim is in the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. And La ilaha illallah means there is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So basically the philosophy is there's no God except Allah. You know, there's no, historically if you look at people believe in many gods, numerous gods, but in Islam the philosophy is no God except one, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second thing you say is Muhammadun Rasulullah, and we say that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So God sent Prophet Muhammad as his messenger onto this earth about 1400 years ago. Yeah. And then Aliyun Waliullah. And this is the Shia.
On this TV channel it says 1400 years of oppression. So the oppression starts so long ago.
The oppression started with the message of Islam. So the Prophet, when we believe that he was already a Prophet, but before he declared his message, he was treated well by his family, the pagans at the time, and the Arabs. He was seen as another member of the family. But as soon as he announced himself as the Prophet and brought the message, that's when the oppression started. And you will be able to read from now on the history, and you'll see, what happened after the message was declared. So Muhammadun Rasulullah, then Aliyun Waliullah. So Ali, which is the cousin and the son-in-law of the Prophet, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him, the husband of Fatima alayhi salam as well, chose him to be the Imam or the guide after the Prophet. So the Prophet was the last Prophet. There were no prophets after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But after that, the guidance from God, the system of guidance changed from prophethood to what we call Imam, to Imam. So Imam is a guide. So basically, the Prophet brought the book. The verses of the Quran were revealed. But then it was for the Imams to explain the verses of the Quran, to teach people how to live the life of a Muslim. We've just been given, it's like you've assembled this beautiful machine, or you bought something brand new, you've unwrapped it, but then you don't know how to use it. And so the Imams were there to then guide the Muslims at the time, or how to live life as a Muslim. So Ali, we say, this is where the Shias differ from the Khalif system, which I said, Aliyun Wali. So we say Aliyun Waliullah as the Imam or the guide after the Prophet.
That feels correct, Shaykh. That feels good.
And we believe that, of course, this is divinely appointed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't leave his message to chance. So he chose the Prophet and he chose the Imams to make sure that the message is intact, so that we can't complain on the day of judgment to say, but you only guided us so much and you didn't continue the guidance. And that's why I believe this guidance continues until Imam Mahdi Ajalallahu Ta'ala Farjum Sharif. Till today he's the hidden Imam, but he's there as a proof or a hujjah of God.
So he's the Imam of this day?
Of this day, yeah. He's
What's
there.
His name?
Imam Mahdi, Imam Muhammad Mahdi.
Okay. And he's not here?
He's in occultation. Occultation means that he's kept hidden by God from us.
Why?
Because the enemies of Islam want to, they would kill, just as the other Imams were killed, and some of them very young, at a very young age, they were killed by the enemies for power and for greed. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected this Imam until, as we discussed earlier, 313 people with sincere hearts who will then rise and help Imam establish the justice and the rule of God on this earth, which is what Allah has
Why
promised.
is this constant opposing force against good people to kill and remove? Why is that?
I mean, if you go back to the time of
It really saddened me. I mean, there's no reason.
Prophet Adam, you see, he had two sons. And as we all know, this instinct of jealousy, of competition is in human nature. And our role, our purpose on this earth is to perfect ourselves. But even if you go back to that time, one brother killed the other brother, as you know.
Cain and Abel.
One killed the other brother. So this instinct, this jealousy is in humankind. But the Prophet came, and it says in the Quran,
remove that.
He said,